Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez.
And I'm Kevin Friel. We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. You can log on at www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
Fixing a leaky faucet, cleaning out the basement, painting the deck. For many of us, these are minor home improvements that can be done in a weekend or less. But for some members of our senior community, these little projects can be exceedingly difficult, and some just can't be done at all without a helping hand. But thanks to AmeriCorps Cape Cod, Housing Assistance Corporation, and a small army of volunteers, hundreds of helping hands went to work this past Saturday, performing dozens of those little repairs in the homes of seniors across Barnstable.
Each individual repair might be a small one, but combined they added up to the first ever Barnstable Big Fix, which by all accounts lived up to its name. Earlier today we heard more about how it went from AmeriCorps Cape Cod member and Barnstable Big Fix organizer Allison LaRue.
Now, this past Saturday was the first ever Barnstable Big Fix, which you played a large role in organizing along with AmeriCorps and Housing Assistance Corporation. Tell us a little bit about how it went.
The event went fabulously. I don't think we could have planned it to go any better. We had all our I's dotted and T's crossed, and things went great, and Cape Cod weather and spring cooperated, and we had a beautiful day weather-wise as well, which just, helped make things that much better.
Now, what kind of turnout did you get as far as volunteers were concerned?
I haven't seen the final numbers yet, actually, but I think we were upwards of 150, so it was great. The community really came out and was in support of this project. It was fabulous.
Well, it certainly sounded like it was a very positive thing. And talking to people around Town Hall, I've heard nothing but great remarks in terms of how it went and the number of people that were helped. I'm wondering, you actually being there yourself, what kind of feedback did you get from some of our senior community that obviously was helped out by the Big Fix? There
were a lot of hugs on Saturday afternoon, and people very, 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 you could tell that how grateful they were for this service. And it was things that, we had a great time doing, and it wasn't backbreaking work for us, but folks were very appreciative, and it was fabulous.
Talk a little bit about that. What exactly were you doing in terms of repairs? Obviously, just for clarification for our viewers, the Big Fix helped out about 22, is that right?
22, correct.
22 members of our senior community that just needed basic fix-ups done around their home, stuff that you and I might be able to do very easily, but would be quite difficult for some members of the community. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
Perfect, exactly.
All right, so what kind of repairs did you do?
At the house I was personally at, she received new gutters. Hers was a corporate sponsorship, so there was a professional crew that came in and replaced her gutters. But then myself and the volunteers, we scraped and sanded the front of her home, and we'll be painting that very shortly. But there was a brand new front entryway installed at somebody's house with railings, because there were no railings there, so that's not a safe situation. There were basement railings put along the stairs to the gentleman's basement. A lot of other painting projects and some cleanup. Lots of cleanup took place as well. Got people's yards ready for the summer and things of that nature. So there were some busy folks here on Saturday.
You said that some of the repairs were sponsored by different contractors. Yes. Talk a little bit about that. Were all the materials that you used donated by people from the community?
Much of what was used on Saturday was donations. The Cape Cod community, and Barnstable in particular, very generous. We had Vitello Lumber donated much of the lumber. Cape Medical Supply donated all the grab bars that were installed. Several folks got grab bars installed in their bathrooms, which was very key for safety. But then as far as the corporate sponsorships, there were 2 homes sponsored by Oceanside Restoration, so they provided some crews to get some of the, the hard labor in, stuff volunteers couldn't do, and took care of the supplies there. And then also the Valley Group was very instrumental in helping us get this underway. Played a key role in this project.
It seems like Cape Cod would be a pretty easy place to organize something like the Big Fix, because the sense of community here is very strong. And in my experiences talking to folks in the business community, there is very little hesitation to, give of themselves and of their materials to help out.
Right. Not being from the Cape, I was very impressed with the response in the community. It wasn't difficult going into businesses and getting them on board. And again, it's a tough economy that we are in right now, but folks were definitely very generous, and we couldn't have put this on without the help of the community, for sure.
Any particularly good stories or interactions? Any one anecdote that sticks out in your mind from Saturday?
I know that much of the beginning of the day is a blur, just making sure logistically everybody was where they needed to be and coordinating such a large group of volunteers. But just kind of looking back and being able to, see all these folks, young, all ages, were with us on Saturday, and just their enthusiasm to want to get this done. So that was fabulous, I think, just seeing all the volunteers.
Is that your takeaway from this experience? Because I feel like for those who were there, for those who were helping out, it must have been a unique opportunity to interact with seniors and others who needed help, and also to interact with other people who were so willing to go and give the help. Is there any observations that are really going to stick with you going forward?
Sure, and yeah, exactly that. Just seeing, you know, folks, young folks, be so happy to help folks in our senior community was fabulous. And then just the fact that the community that we were helping was so grateful, and just to kind of, you know, be able to kind of connect with some youth. It was really nice, and, you know, just to see the youth kind of give back to the folks. It was a great experience.
So obviously all the hard work was worthwhile then, because obviously you played a pretty large role in getting all this together. Talk a little bit about what the organizational efforts were like and how it ended up going on Saturday.
Sure. This was a large project, and I don't think there are 6 of us housing assistants serving in AmeriCorps, and I don't think any of us have quite organized and been a part of something so large. We have been planning this since Thanksgiving is when we really started to get the ball rolling on this. You know, hard and, you know, real detailed plans didn't come about till, you know, the past few months, but we really kind of had this in the works since before Thanksgiving. And, you know, this really was logistically a large effort, and again, the folks at Housing Assistance have been fabulous, and they were very instrumental in all of this and played a huge role, and it just kind of came together, but it was a lot of planning and a lot of hard work. So.
Well, and there's some very appreciative people out there for all the efforts that AmeriCorps and Housing Assistance Corporation and all of the volunteers put in over the course of the day on Saturday. Now, with the great success of this year's event, any plans for next year that you might be able to tell us about?
I don't think that this is going to be something that is just going to be a one-time thing. I definitely think that there are hopes at Housing Assistance that this could be something that they could do year to year, and I don't know how they couldn't, because it was such a success, and it obviously, they were aware of a need, but then it was just brought to the light even more so, that there is such a need for this kind of work.
I heard some rumblings that there may be a desire to not only turn this into a Town of Barnstable initiative, but maybe a Cape-wide initiative?
That might be potential for that as well. You know, I'm sure if it does spread Cape-wide, there would have to be other organizations that would get involved.
Of course.
But yes, it was just, there really is a need out there, and these folks were so grateful. And it's, you know, some of these folks that live here on the Cape don't have family on the Cape, so there aren't too many people that these folks can turn to. So I definitely think this is something that could definitely, you know, be brought on year to year.
Well, Allison, thank you so much for your efforts personally and for the efforts of AmeriCorps and getting HAC involved and the whole deal. A lot of people were helped in a very, very real way, and I think a lot of people out there had a very rewarding experience doing so. So all around, a great Saturday for the community. Yeah. Allison LaRue, AmeriCorps member, one of the chief organizers of the Barnstable Big Fix. We thank you for being on the program.
Thank you very much for having me here and giving me a chance to thank everyone who was involved. Thank you.
Coming up next week, AmeriCorps Cape Cod is taking on another big project in the town of Barnstable, this time to celebrate AmeriCorps Week 2010. Members will be in Craigville Village, transforming the former site of the Sunny Sands Motel into a coastal mitigation nursery.
For more information on AmeriCorps Cape Cod, visit www.rdoac.org/AmeriCorps. Now let's take a look at this week's remaining meetings. On Tuesday, May 4th at 3:30, the Town Council holds a press conference in the Town Hall hearing room. At 6:30, the Conservation Commission meets in the Town Hall hearing room. On Wednesday, May 5th, the Highness Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission meets in the Selectmen's Conference Room at 7 o'clock. And then on Thursday, May 6th at 7 p.m., the Town Council meets in the Town Hall hearing room.
Well, that's all for now. For Kevin Friel, I'm Nick Cortese. We'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.